Okay, Eugenia.
Hi, Marius. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Finally, we met.
Yes, finally we met. I'm happy to work on this common project. You from the part of the writing, and me from the part of the visual arts. This is the subject we are going to discuss today. This is the book you have written. Would you like to
Yes.
say something about it?
Yeah, sure. Actually, this is my first novel that somebody can find in the bookshelves, and it's a book I've written recently. But let me tell you, I don't know if I told you this, but it took me a lifetime to write this. I was working about this book without knowing it even. And then one day I decided, and yes, I'm going to publish it, I'm going to write it.
What we agreed to do is to approach your book from my visual analysis perspective. It's like putting a flashlight on the book which is lying on the sofa.
So for me, it's very interesting to see what you saw. So, and to share it in this way. So for me, it's very interesting, and I'm very happy about it.
And it will get more interesting because we're going to start now.
Oh, good.
So
Good.
I'm sure it will be interesting. I don't know whether you will like it, but interested it will definitely be.
Yeah. Okay,
So
we'll see. We'll see about that.
so we have the two main characters. Those are not the only, let's say, cornerstones of the book, but those are the two humans which play a very important role. This is Ionas and Thalia. So I'm trying to analyze things visually. So to a certain extent, let the pictures speak for themselves. I structure the visual analysis in a very specific way. The first thing is I produce portraits of the main character. Then some free associations follow. There's always a landscape on any analysis because all those are, let's say, genres of the visual arts, and at the same time they are genres because they give you a lot of information on a subject. And at the end, I'm also at the right bottom. I'm always putting me because I'm the, let's say, the analyzing person, and nobody should forget that this is the person who's doing it. So it could be that it's very subjective. So in any case, we're starting with the portraits. This is the very specific structure of the analysis. We're starting with the portraits. So I think I have two portraits of Ionas. I prefer to start with the Ionas.
Okay.
And I have two portraits of Thalia. What I want you to do is to choose one of them. Okay? So who would you prefer to be Ionas from your book?
Okay. It's. Can I ask you a question here?
Hmm?
It's why why is this picture with a beer?
Why?
Yes. What? How come this? This.
It's
How
yeah.
come
Sorry, I
yeah.
should have added this.
Because I didn't mention anything about that. I mean, I haven't described
I know,
with
no.
details.
No, it's
But
very important. Your question is very important because this is very important also for my approach. Ionas and Thalia are in the sphere of gods and goddesses. So,
okay.
so Ionas, this is the first portrait, is a god. This is why it reminds us uh, also to ancient sculptures. Thalia and Ionas are gods. Why are they gods?
Why?
Because they found the very fortunate feeling of deep love and affection. The good thing is this deep love and affection. The good thing is also they rise up from the reality and find themselves in the sky. Problem is that they become gods although they are humans.
I see. Okay. Actually, they discovered their divine side
Hmm.
throughout life.
Hmm.
Yes, that is part of the story, actually. Yes. Okay, you want me to choose then? It's very hard to choose. You know why? Because in this picture, Ionas here,
Mhm.
he looks very young,
Mhm.
and as the story goes, I do mention that period where Ionas was young.
Mhm.
But the time of the meeting,
Mhm.
Ionas could look like this.
Mhm.
So can I choose both? No,
You
I
can
choose
choose both.
both
Okay.
because we have two different eras.
True.
As a,
Yes.
okay, so Ion here is in his 20s, and
Mhm.
here is in his late 40s,
Mhm.
something. So I think yes, it's very nice.
Okay, let's keep both.
Mm-hmm.
So now we go to the goddess, and this is Thalia.
Mm-hmm.
I just remind you again that my approach was that those persons find themselves in this fortunate situation of being in love over the years, and even more being in an idealized love,
Mm-hmm.
because gods, symbols, ideas are always theoretical,
Mm-hmm.
and they are not, from one point of view, they are not able to express their love because they meet every 5 years, every 10 years. On the other hand, because of them not meeting and because of them not putting into reality these feelings, these divine feelings, they continue with this desire. So this desire keeps on going because they, how do you say, they neglect reality.
Mm-hmm.
The second, let's say, approach, having discussed portraits, is the intrigue which every meeting produces in those persons. A meeting with a person you are strongly interested in, it's like a battle. It's
True.
like an intriguing battle.
True.
So it's exchange of communications, of bodily communications, of verbal communications. It's an exchange of ideas. Imagine if you meet so seldomly, like every 5 years, whatever, one time in Baku, one other time on the street, one other time, of course, when you met the first date. So you are thinking, 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 you're imagining a lot, and then the meeting comes. It's
Yes.
like a very, very dense moment
True.
where
True.
you're both of you have a limited time, and you have to put it out everything, or to try to put out
Yes.
everything. So this is why I made battles. So Ionas and Thalia
True.
are
Yeah.
battling. They
That
are
is so true.
tense.
Yeah, that's great. Yes, I like them both. I like all of them. I like all of them. So I mean, they're right to the point.
So we have the goddesses, the goddess and the god. They are in the skies. They have very strong feelings of love. This feeling of love is unfulfilled. It's idealized,
Towards
and
the end, though.
idealized, of course.
Towards the end of the
Uh,
story.
but also in between, Thalia is thinking of him. Possibly
In
he's
between,
thinking of
it's a
her.
battlefield.
It's a battlefield.
Yes, it
But
is.
do they meet often? No.
No, they used to meet often when they were younger,
Yes, I understood
but
this.
then there was this moment that both they both took their separate ways in life.
Yeah, yeah. I remember about him
So
not
so
not being let's say open to engagement.
right, and that was actually the conflict Thalia had to face in at first in this relationship, and it was her battle at first, and then Eon faced that much later
Yeah.
in life.
Yeah.
So yes,
This is when the tears came at the end. Mm-hmm.
exactly, exactly,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
exactly.
Irrespective of what they have been doing in those years, in reality, in their everyday life, all those feelings were accompanying them, both of them. Correct?
Yes, sometimes consciously in the case of Thalia, but
So
subconsciously in the
subconsciously.
case of Ian.
Okay.
And actually, now that you mention it, through that story. This is exactly what I wanted to depict. And it's like in a relationship, in this relationship, actually, I talk about the equality of man and woman. Um, Both, but in a different time, um, they open up and they uh, explore and they find their inner selves.
Let me now approach the next pictures. I didn't touch those parts of the book which you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned now. What I touched is again the distinction between the divine and everyday life,
Mm-hmm.
because from the beginning of the book until the end of the book, many years passed, about 20 years, 25, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. Okay.
Exactly 25.
So, and at the beginning they met more, of course, they had a short relationship. And then they lost themselves. They didn't. They were traveling around the world, and this is my next approach, visual approach. They were traveling. You mentioned London, you mentioned Tokyo, and you mentioned France. And this is my next approach.
Yes.
And so you were around, and then of course Baku, okay, at the end. So this is the four. This is only what I chose, let's say, to analyze visually. So this is the picture for London. It is the symbol of Great
Okay.
Britain,
All right.
and but this lion is sleeping. Why? Because the reality, like studying in London, having a girlfriend in London, whatever, according to the book, the only, let's say, big and important elephant in the room is the relationship. So, yes, he studied in London. Could be that he met his wife in London, but London is sleeping. It's like
Okay. Okay. Good. Yes.
it's not really active. So
True.
the
That's
activity is
true.
going on somewhere else.
True. That's
The
true.
same with France. This is the rooster. So the
Okay.
rooster is sleeping.
Right. Yes. You're right about this. Uh huh.
Uh,
Uh huh.
and then the Tokyo, here you can choose. I have two alternatives. The forest of the suicide forest, okay, which you mentioned. So those are those two alternatives, and she is going to choose one of those.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And you can also tell me why you choose one of those,
Mm-hmm.
or
Yes.
to the audience, let's say.
Okay. So you want me to choose from this four too, right?
This I will use, I think, and from those two you can choose
Ah, ah.
from the two forests, because they don't have alternatives.
I see. Okay. I'll choose this one
Hmm.
because and the reason I choose they're similar, but I choose the one with no color
Hmm.
because after all, it's a forest where people um, kill themselves. So I prefer
Okay,
this,
okay,
which looks not healthy to me.
okay. So we put it here, we
It's
put this
yes.
away. So this was the approach, very briefly once more, a small repetition, and then I jump on to Baku, and we are more or less finished with the first session,
Okay.
and we will prepare the next one. So London is sleeping, Paris is sleeping, Tokyo, although very emotional situation with the suicide for everything is sleeping. The only thing which is active over the years is their relationship, this divine relationship.
Okay.
This was
Good.
my visual approach.
Right.
And this is Baku. Why Baku? And why this? This is actually a pedal.
A pedal.
Yeah, because this is
Why?
because what my I didn't know Baku, I didn't know the city, I have never been there, but this reminds me to the building in the harbor, which is like a pedal,
Okay. 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 Okay.
and of
Okay.
course the pedal has a very
You're right.
strong symbolic let's say, explanation, which is that it's luck.
Right. Especially when it's turned out this way and not the other way around. It's usually hanging on the walls the other way around. And this is the correct one.
And this is more or less the lucky meeting, let's say. At least for Thalia, it's the lucky meeting.
Both of them.
Oh, for both of them.
Yes.
So this is Baku. This is
great. I love that.
This is, and finally, I just put myself at the right bottom of the picture. We will see this later, because I'm the person who's doing it. I have only one alternative. You
Okay.
cannot choose. You have to keep me.
I love it.
Could be one part of me.
But I
yeah.
like it.
One part of me.
Maybe
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know you that well. Maybe,
I always draw
maybe,
myself a little bit more
maybe,
serious.
Maybe.
I always draw myself more serious. So
Okay.
I draw my serious part for one or the other reason.
Okay.
So this was my approach. This was my visual, let's say, analysis. I tried to explain. This was the first step, and now that we had this feedback, this discussion, what I'm going to do is go home, put those pictures in the frame, produce them in a very structured way, and then we have the second, let's say, discussion between the book, the discussion between the book and the picture, and this will be our next video.
Great.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. Okay.
Marius, thank you so much.
Okay, Eugenia.
Hi.
This is our second meeting, and this time I have prepared the picture frame with the pictures you have chosen. It was very important for me, as always in my work, to have a dialogue and the feedback. I think the process itself is at least as important as the final work. So, and now we came to the second phase, which is to have a communication between, in this case, between your book and the final visual artwork.
I am amazed, and I will tell you why right away. I've seen the pictures before, I've seen the drawings before last time we met. But right now, as you have placed them together as a whole, it's like I see something different. Like each picture, the more I see it, the more things I discover. So, and it's like today I feel that I have seen all of them for the first time. It's weird. I don't know. This has to do with your drawing, though. It's nothing to do with me. So this we have this the two heroes of the story of the novel. We have Thalia and Ion, and Thalia appears to be. We have only one picture of Thalia. We've chosen only one, and I think it's a picture that represents both her maturity and her pain, because she went through a lot because of that relationship. And we have two pictures of Ion, and the first one in his youth, where Ion appears to be with eyes full of promises for his future, and a person who has an optimistic point of view. And then in his late 40s, he appears to be a man who has lived his life fully, has experiences, carries a weight, because after all, he is a man of a certain caliber. But I found them both very representative of the character, because Ion, in every picture, appears not to have any grief inside. On the contrary, he appears to be somebody who is fully content with his life.
Do you agree
Um,
with my approach from
yes,
one point of view
I
that
do because
those people find themselves in other spheres?
yes, in the end,
Yes?
towards the end,
Mm-hmm.
and yes, it doesn't really show in the pictures we have chosen because in these pictures we see the facts and we see the symbols and I like a lot the way you have pictured the places they have lived.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about Paris, and
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about Paris and about London, the Sleeping Lion. I like that. The way you have pictured the cities, London and Paris. We have the Sleeping Lion and the Sleeping Rooster.
Mm-hmm.
And you depict in your own way exactly what I wanted to express, and that no matter where they found themselves in life, in their journey in
Mm-hmm.
life, geographically
Mm-hmm.
speaking, all of a sudden, all these places mean nothing.
Mm-hmm. This was the idea, yes.
Yes, means nothing actually regarding to whatever was happening inside of them. Um, and I would like to point out these two pictures. Here we have the forest of Aokigahara,
Mm-hmm.
where people commit suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And this is really the place that, and the story behind it, that had a great impact upon Thalia's morale. Because back in those days, she was suffering still. And she was trying to make it professionally. And it was that place in Japan where she failed totally. And this is why she focused on that story, because that story was totally relatable to her story. In fact, there was a time she was very weak and she faced darkness and she also wanted to commit suicide. And then that's that picture, the final picture, which is the meeting point, a picture that represents Baku. I think it's a very clever way to represent Baku that way. And this is actually the message that I wanted to give. Baku, it's a place of luck. It's also a place that represents the whole story through its symbol, which is the fire. Is we have two kinds of fires: the fire that burns and the fire that represents life. And apart from Ion and Thalia, who are the protagonists of this work, there is another protagonist, and it's the flame of
Mm-hmm.
the fire that gives life.
Mm-hmm.
And Baku represents the fire that burns, because Baku represents also the the power of the money, and um, which is a factor that influences and governs our lives, especially in nowadays, because whether we like to face it or not, money nowadays has become our god. And this is also a very strong connection with the title of the book. The shelves in
Mm-hmm.
older cultures
Mm-hmm.
used to be a currency.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I chose this title not by accident.